In this video, we're gonna talk about what actually happened to the Forge and its new update. I know you guys are probably joining this game right now and you're wondering where the heck is the brand new world, because currently we are still in World 3, the Frostfire Expanse, and we still have not gotten anything new to play with. And there's a lot we need to talk about, so all of the things that I do say in this video, I do want to mention. Don't send hate to anyone. It's not the right thing to do, and it's all constructive criticism that I really hope the developers take into account, or else the game is dead. As you can see, the game's player count is at 34,000 at the time I'm recording, and it has actually been less than this before. And to be honest, I genuinely think the developers do not care that it's this low right now. Somebody went ahead and asked the community manager, Ada, whether is there an update this week or not, and she responded saying no. So first of all, to begin with, the reason why there's no update is because there wasn't actually a scheduled one, and they did mention that, you know, it would probably be announced long before, which is, I think, the better idea. They shouldn't release an update right on the spot. 16 days ago, the developers announced this thing talking about how they learned their lesson about rushing Big Island updates, and while the map and assets for Island 4 are nearly complete, we are taking extra time to properly balance the game before release. When the developers actually said this, they went ahead and added some changes to the game actively, which you can notice, such as, you know, the mailbox, and then we got some mini updates, such as one being the recycle system. This is a really cool system we got. You know, I think this genuinely brought a good bit of players back into wanting to play the game, testing out these waters, and pretty much just getting better stuff using ores once again. But that wasn't enough, because before that they actually gave us something a much heavier update, and this one was I believe, what did they even change in this? Oh yeah, okay, so this was the update where they actually added the critical mining, which is in my opinion one of the best features in the game, and the forge locking system. This was actually the real one where they added the recycle system. They just changed it up a bit in here where, you know, you accidentally don't just delete your items because your inventory is full. These updates were well received by the community. They were very small, don't get me wrong, but it was very nice to see because it brought big quality of life changes. The game at its current slate is the best time to be played, and it's been better than ever before. However, there's a big fat problem. From my 8 years of playing Roblox, I've said this in my last 2 videos, but in case you don't know, when a game gets to the point where they are taking like a month-long time to update without nearly any communication, it's basically cooked forever. It also does not hope that they have this game called The Abyss coming out, and they just dropped the trailer for it, and it looks like it's coming on the 8th of February. So with the hype going towards that game, the Forge is stumbling across, like, you know, it's great pretty much. This is something I said for Grow a Garden, but it has came a lot sooner for the Forge. Actually, the Forge has literally less players than Grow a Garden right now. I used to make videos on Grow a Garden. Grow a Garden has like 50,000 or 40,000 players, while the Forge is getting 20 to 30k. Don't get me wrong, this player count is not bad whatsoever. However, it is bad because of one really important thing. This is where the problem comes in, the statistics of the game. As you can see, the game one on this side has been getting less visits than ever before by a significant amount. Like, first, you can look at the player count. Yes, the player count has been falling with every single update. And then from basically here on January, we didn't really get any updates. And we went all the way from 600,000 concurrent at an active point all the way down to literally the lowest being 17,000 at 6 p.m. on January 29th. I'm currently recording the day before when the update is supposed to be coming out because I know you guys are expecting it, and you're probably wondering what the heck is going on and what are the developers' responses to it, and we're actually going to get into that. When you actually take a look at the more important statistic, the new visits, you can see this is tremendously falling. The game is getting way less players actually coming into the game every single day to play rather than just concurrent players. So today, at the time I'm recording, they only got 2 million. It's an insane amount, don't get me wrong. A lot of players or developers would be very happy to get this. But the point is, that when Roblox sees something like this, the way the algorithm works, if the game starts performing worse and worse, Roblox promotes it less and less. And the truth is, without Roblox's promotion, games are not possible to really stay popular. Content creators are also not even making videos on the Forge anymore, and I feel like I'm one of the only ones left at this point. A lot of excitement has gone to their new game, The Abyss. Like I said, I made a video on it, and I genuinely really enjoyed playing that game, and I thought it was really good. So if you haven't, definitely check that out, because it's definitely a really good game and gives people a whole world of reasons to want to just stop playing this game forever and wait for that to come out. The reason why this becomes a bigger problem, and probably the majority reason to like why these updates are getting delayed, is because the developers are trying to add some really complex things. Fire Attack, the owner of the game, actually went ahead and dropped a ton of leaks for this world. As you can see, this is one screenshot. This is another one. You got this one over here. Then you also have this one. Pretty cool stuff. You know, tons of ores coming into the game. Love that. And if I actually scroll down, he said there's going to be a yin yang ores that you can combine to get a yin yang ore, or like yin and yang ores to combine them to get yin yang. And then we even got this leak like 3 days ago of just a random NPC. This guy looks really cool, don't get me wrong. And before that, we got a ton more. I mean, Ada, the community manager, dropped us a ton of leaks. We got a better picture of, I guess, the worlds. Kind of like literally the same exact pictures, except a little bit better. This one is different. That's a pretty cool little mine. And then we also got this one, which really doesn't show anything, to be honest. But hey, it's still a very good looking map. Then we got these insane looking pickaxes. Like, oh my god, I actually love the way these things look. And I would love to be able to play with them, except, you know, we have to wait like a whole month to get access to it. And then we just run through these in like matter of time. We even got these NPCs, bro. And I can go on forever. The developers actually even started talking about this part, saying that they want to add unique skill sets and more pairing to increase the challenge when you're actually fighting NPCs like this guy over here. And I love that idea of a bigger challenge. But you know what that actually costs when the developers take time to do this? Well, you probably guessed it, but it takes a lot of time and development time. Don't get me wrong, I am all for these changes being added to the game and us getting content like this, but it doesn't need to all be at once. And I can totally understand they're trying to get all of this in because, you know, the people inside the Discord server are throwing in a bunch of suggestions still, and don't get me wrong, these are amazing. But when the developers take a lot of time to do all of these things at once, it can actually lead to some big problems. Like I said, in World 3, when we originally got this first, people really didn't like the progression set in this game and the way you had to, you know, do quests in order to get through different types of pickaxes. Personally, I was pretty cool with it. I didn't mind. But a lot of the players who saved tons of money found out that their money really was worthless, and all the ores they grinded for were also worthless because of a huge power creep in the ores. As you saw, if you go to the index, I mean, you can look at it. A cobalt, the worst thing from the second world, is literally 3 times higher inside of the third world. So it's insane. Like, bro, a dark right, what's a dark right? Yeah, 6.3 times multiplier. What is the thing that beats that? Like, I am sure something here beats it. Or Valchire, this thing is so easy to get, it definitely beats it. The Zanctus is very close. Snow Whites, and then Eyesights, and then even if you unlock this area, bro, even more. Look, you got so much more at the peak, and we go all the way up to 25x. I did actually get the opportunity a few minutes ago to talk with Ada, the community manager who I talked about earlier. I should mention that before I got to talk to her, there was something that she has been saying basically to everyone. Basically, a lot of the questions that we're getting asked, yo, is the new armor in World 4, is it worth saving for? Ada was like, I don't know. I don't know about update day and so on. At this point, I really thought the communication between the community manager and the developers was really bad for the last few days, because that's really what it seemed like. And although I believe that the developers still don't tell, like, the community manager enough info about the updates and stuff like that, I did get to have this really good conversation with her, and I think she explained it a lot better to why they're doing things the way they are. With the mailbox, in case you didn't know, which I didn't look at this good enough, but the mailbox actually rewards you a decent amount of stuff. I did claim everything very quickly. I didn't even look at it because I thought it was was really bad at first, but you know, you get an XP push and you get a gold, some gold minor totems and stuff like that. But as you can see, in total, you get like 20,000, 15,000. So that's like 35,000 plus 10,000, 45,000 plus 5,000. You get 50k coins. To a new player, this is going to be really good for the brand new update, which is definitely really nice. And the best part is actually just simply the XP potion right here, where you get 70% extra XP boost for 1 hour. I did say that like XP in this game doesn't really matter too much because yes, levels are good to get and stuff, but when you access this world, aka World 3, the current world that we have, if you don't actually have money, you can't really do anything from World 2. So that was my point of saying, like, there's really nothing you can do. You can't fight the bosses, well, because you can't get any of the pickaxes to get good armor to fight the boss. And so I highly suggested to the developers that there's actually more ways to make money, or at least make money faster. And this could come with smaller features, maybe a coins boost even, bro. Maybe, I don't know, they could do a lot of things, bro. Maybe like a combo of how many NPCs you can kill at once, and it caps at a certain multiplier if you're consistently killing stuff back to back, and that would be really cool to see. It would definitely add more to the PvP and interest people in killing NPCs more often. And the reason why we had all of this conversation was because I was saying that when World 4 comes out, it's not gonna matter how long the developers took, because if you're a newer player, all you're gonna be able to see is World 3 at most, because it's so hard to get out this world. Now, Ada did say that the developers are probably gonna, or she has been suggesting to the developers to make a lot of changes, and hopefully they will, because I think World 3 needs to be made significantly easier, and the flow needs to be much easier into World 4. They did make so many changes already, and it's really nice, but when you consider the fact you have to buy pickaxes first to be able to mine your stuff, and then you have to pray to God that you get some of the good ores like Gargantuan, Surya-Fall, and then pray once again to forge something that you want. So it has been very difficult to actually get the armor sets that you're looking for. Personally, I'm still not a great fan of, you know, having tons of content being added to the game at once and then praying that, you know, all the players actually get to enjoy that stuff and there's no complaining about it. But I think if the developers have truly learned how to do it properly right, I think there's a good chance for the game to slowly pick it back up. But I gotta say, it has to come with consistency or something at that form. Something I actually also suggested to the developers was admin abuse. And that was a suggestion I had for this upcoming update, because I genuinely thought it'd be so cool if, like, we could get admin abuse and stuff going on in this game to, you know, help all players out overall. But they did say that, you know, this game does obviously take a lot of optimization and stuff like that. So, like, it's very hard for them to implement things like this. Let me know if you guys really like the idea of admin abuses. I will press on that till I die, and I'll try to convince them as much as possibly a content creator can. But yeah, just let me know if that's something you guys actually enjoy. I think the direction of the Forge currently, it looks very untrusting. However, if they are able to pull off this update very well, you know, overall very good, positive, and completely balanced, then I think you could have a great feature. They do want to keep the game as an RPG, and they want to follow the path of games like Blox Fruits, where they update once a billion years, I guess. Not really, but you get the point. They don't want to be constantly updating, and they want to do quality and quantity at the same time, instead of quality over quantity or quantity over quality, because not only are they adding a lot, but they are making sure it's very high quality. And once again, I do have to mention, these are some of the greatest developers I've had the chance to talk to, and their communication is pretty good. Not directly from the developers, but Ada, the community manager, she constantly communicates with us. But I think a lot of people would also love to hear straight from the devs too. Currently in the game, the only thing I can recommend you guys to do is just grind a tons of money, because with this new update, they're not actually going to power creep the items as much. So that is something, we have actually gotten confirmations for. Some aspects of the update are guaranteed. So if you still have gargantuans and stuff, or some of the good ores, it's actually not going to be bad in this brand new update once it comes out. It's still going to hold a lot of value. This is the overall summary I could give. Somebody said, I don't want to be rude, but the game is going down in players and you need to update fast, which yes, this is true. However, Ada did say we need loyal members, bro. Their goal is to basically keep players that are willing to come back no matter how long they take to update, which is fair. A lot of games do this on Roblox, but they tend to hold a lot lower player counts compared to, to games like the stupid brain rot games. But let me know what you guys think, if you're excited for this update still, because personally, I am. However, I gotta say, if it does not come out before the Abyss, bro, I'm going to the Abyss, okay? I love that game. And talking about the Abyss, go ahead, pick one of these videos on the screen right here. I went and picked one for you, and you two recommend the other one because they think it is way better, and you're gonna enjoy it. So hurry up and pick one. This video is about to end. Until then, I'll catch you in this video. Bye!